Before I start this video, I do just want to say that this isn't for comparison, this isn't what you should eat, and this is just for inspiration and also me just sharing my passion and my love for food and creating food and experimenting with flavours, textures, everything. I just love it. Throughout the video, I have had time to cook and prepare this food, so please don't compare if your life is a little busier or you're feeling a little bit burnt out right now. We all have different lives, we're all at different stages, and I just think it's important to say that because sometimes you can see things and feel like you're not doing enough, but actually sometimes you're just a little bit more busy and you don't have the time to be so elaborate or creative, and that's okay. Life ebbs and flows, and I think it's important to remember that. Anyway, enough rambling. How are we all doing? I hope everyone is doing okay. After my breakfast and a mid-morning snack, it was time to have some lunch, and today I was doing something a little bit different. I decided to do some shredded tofu. I just began to prepare this and grated up some tofu and saved some because it's just so good to have in the fridge. Give the tofu a spritz with some olive oil, and then I began to prepare some avocado. I added some red pepper to the tofu and some chili flakes as well. I then mashed the avocado with some lime, chili flakes and black pepper, and then once the tofu was all crispy from the oven, I began to assemble the wrap. I spread some yogurt onto the wrap and then added the avocado followed by the crispy tofu with red peppers. I then added some tahini onto the wrap. I've absolutely been loving tahini just recently. It's super creamy and full of all them good healthy fats. For a quick and speedy snack, I made a yogurt bowl. I added some kiwi with some seeds. I've been using these Nutritious, I don't know how you say it, but anyway, I've been using these and they are so good, with some cinnamon on the top as well. A little bit later on, it was dinner time, and I've been loving this quinoa pasta. It really is ready in 6 minutes, it's great. But anyway, I added some mushrooms and courgette to this, and I created a sauce using ricotta. Ricotta is honestly so underrated. I also added some chopped spinach and I just threw it into the pan. I know this is probably really lazy and a really odd way of doing it, but sometimes I just throw it all in a pan. I used the courgette, which I boiled just to soften, and then I blended it up in the Ninja for a little bit with some olive oil, the ricotta, some salt and pepper. You'll then end up with a lovely green creamy sauce, which is just beautiful. So I mixed that in with the spinach, the courgette and the mushrooms, and then I also broke up some cooked chicken pieces into this and just give it all a good mix together till it was all coated. I think this is quite versatile. You could skip the chicken and you could add beans instead, or you could add salmon. I think it would be lovely with so many different things, which is so nice, but then you could also have it without anything. It is packed with fibre from the pasta anyway. To finish it off, I did add some rocket onto the top with some spring onion and a squeeze of lemon and some more black pepper, of course. For something sweet, I had this chickpea chocolate mousse that I made from somebody's YouTube that I found, so I'm going to put their YouTube here because it's really good, so you should go and check it out. Good morning everyone, today is Tuesday and I'm having an oat bowl, and then I had a coffee and enjoyed every second. I then got myself ready for the day and had some of the cookies that I'd already made from the previous day. Today's lunch was one of them thrown together using bits that needed using, but these Merchant Gourmet packets are so good and so convenient. I used this and added some bits from the fridge that also needed using. I I also made a yogurt and tahini dressing type thing to put on the top. I added some garlic granules to this with some lime juice and black pepper, and then I did also use up some of the chicken from the previous day with some avocado as well. Swiftly followed by a yogurt bowl with nuts, seeds, and I added some apple this time as well as the kiwi. Later in the evening I began to prepare something for dinner, and I used up the rest of the bulgur from lunchtime, and I also had some egg with that and added some veggies from the fridge that needed using. I made an omelette with this and added some ricotta to the omelette with the spinach. Ricotta and spinach is honestly such a nice combination, and with the veg and the egg it was just, yeah, different but really nice. And then I did add some rocket onto the top of that, and honestly it was so good. I'm gonna have to make it again. Finishing the day with the elite combo of Greek yogurt, banana and dates and dark chocolate. Does it get any better than this? Hello and welcome to a new day. It is Wednesday today. This morning we're going a little bit rogue. We're having something different, and I did create these pancake style bites that I topped with loads of toppings of course, and did a base of Greek yogurt. I added some banana and frozen berries that I defrosted overnight, and then I also topped with peanut butter. This honestly exceeded my expectations. It was really nice, and I added some crushed up nuts on the top as well. And then I did also of course have a coffee afterwards. For lunch, I was conscious that I had ricotta that needed using, and I found this recipe in the Nutritionist book, and I was very excited by the sound of this. I did amend it quite a bit just because I also opened another packet of the bulgur, so I needed to use that. I kind of went a bit rogue, and instead of using the sourdough, I used up the bulgur wheat. I added the veggies to the plate with the bulgur and the ricotta with that zesty lemon mixed into it, and then I began to crack the egg and place that onto the top. As you can see, I was very pleased with how this turned out. It was honestly lush and just so nice to have something different. In the afternoon I had a Greek yogurt bowl. Well, I had no bowls, glass container. Anyway, it was lovely. Next up it was dinner time, and I was using the new book from Deliciously Ella. It's the Quick Wins. I highly recommend this. It's honestly exceptional. There's so many nice recipes, and this one really tickled my fancy, so I decided to make it. Following the recipe, I began to fry off the spices with the garlic and the ginger, and then I added the rest of the ingredients into the pan. I did add a couple of extra things to the recipe, but then I give it all a good cook together before adding the yogurt and giving it all a good mix together until it was well coated. I think that Ella's looked so much better than mine, but honestly the flavours were great and it was so tasty. Tonight I was really feeling the comfort of a warm herbal tea with some huge chocolate. You really can't go wrong. I did exactly that. Good morning, it is a new day. It is Thursday today, and I'm starting the day strong with my absolute go-to. This is just phenomenal. It's so nice. Anyway, I need to calm down. I did have a coffee as well, of course. Honestly, just sensational again. As a quick snack, I had a blueberry banana oat bar. I love having things like this on hand. It really helps. For lunch, I began to make a quinoa salmon bowl type of thing. The salmon I had needed using, and I had a lot of celery bits in the fridge that also needed using. So I just kind of threw everything into a bowl. These are my favourite kind of lunches. They are so good. I also added tahini onto the top. It goes so nice with salmon. This was very tasty. By now you probably know what's coming next, and you're probably bored of seeing this, but I did in fact have a yogurt bowl. And then this is the seeds that I use. If you can get your hands on some, please do. In the later afternoon I was a little bit peckish, so I did actually snack on some of the Deliciously Ella chocolate dipped almonds. These have been a go-to in my life for a long time. For dinner again this evening, I was using up bits from the fridge and I decided to use some miso and pair it with some leeks. I also had some mushrooms that did need using as well. I added some almond milk and some nutritional yeast to the leeks in the pan and just cooked it all down and mixed it all together. I added some spinach along with the mushrooms and some of the green pea lentil pasta. I added the miso to the pan and topped with some salmon, and honestly this was so nice. It seems like such a random concoction, but it worked. With the leftover shredded tofu from the beginning of the week, I did make a peanut butter tofu mousse, and then I did top this with some Hu and some of that cacao crunch. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button if you did enjoy this video and subscribe if you do want to see more videos just like this. I hope that you can take at least one thing away from the video that you do want to try, and also I just want to say please do what feels right for you and your body. I'm sending all my love and I'll see you very soon.